Hello everyone and welcome to the F1 Corner ahead of the final round of the 2020 Formula One season, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And we start with big news. Lewis Hamilton will be back in the car this weekend. He tested negative for COVID-19 on Wednesday in Bahrain, was allowed to fly to Abu Dhabi, and this morning tested negative again in Abu Dhabi. So he will be allowed to enter the paddock and to participate to the first practice session tomorrow on Friday. So this means that George Russell is going back to Williams after his weekend at Mercedes. Jack Aitken will be out of the car too, which is a bit of a shame since they both participated in the press interviews throughout the day for their borrowed team, but that's what it is. So what are we looking at now for this last race? Well, pretty much everything is set and done for many drivers and many teams. Third place in the constructors can still be played between Racing Point and McLaren. Drivers' Championship, the midfield is also pretty tight. But let's go team by team and discuss what will happen after that race. So for Mercedes, we said it, Hamilton is back this weekend, but he still does not have a contract for next season. We are all pretty sure that it's only a matter of time that Lewis will drive for Mercedes next year, but still it is a bit of a worry, if you want, for the fans that Hamilton still does not have a contract. Valtteri Bottas already signed for 1 year, though there are rumors that maybe George Russell could be could take Bottas's place should anything happen, or even take Lewis's place if he does not resign, even though Russell does have a contract with Williams. We'll see after the race and during the off-season. Ferrari, Carlos Sainz coming next season. Sebastian Vettel, his last race with Ferrari before moving to Aston Martin, said today that for him it was pretty much 2018 that was a bit of a pivotal point for his career at Ferrari. He did mention his wins with the red team, but I think we all remember Germany 2018 when Vettel took himself out of the race while he was in the fight for the championship that year, but that only ruined his chances completely. And since 2018, he has not been the same driver at Ferrari. And we've seen it. He made a lot of mistakes. And Charles Leclerc coming, beating Vettel for 2 seasons in a row. That's a bit of a shame, and wondering if that is really the mark of a 4-time world champion. We'll see next year at Aston Martin what he can do. Renault, same thing. Daniel Ricciardo, last race for the French team. He will move to McLaren next season to replace Carlos Sainz. Ricciardo, 2 podiums this season so far. Very happy of his season, one of his best in Formula One. And it's kind of a shame also because Renault is making a lot of progress. But next season, Fernando Alonso is coming back to the team that will be rebranded Alpine. He will take part in the off-season testing in Abu Dhabi after the race, and will try to maybe claim a third world championship with Renault within the next 2 seasons. The big aim is, of course, 2022, when the regulation will change. McLaren, talked about it with 2 drivers, one leaving, one coming. As I mentioned, Daniel Ricciardo coming to McLaren. McLaren still in the fight for third this weekend. If they have a better race than Racing Point, everything is doable, and that's a lot of money potentially in the bank. Great season again for McLaren. Last year we saw their big comeback, and they're only make it better this year. AlphaTauri, well, that's also a bit of a strange one. AlphaTauri, Pierre Gasly is staying, and Daniel Kvyat likely to be taken out of Formula One once again and replaced by Yuki Tsunoda, who is a Honda driver, and we know that Honda is pushing a lot to have the Japanese young driver in the car. He's not a bad driver, far from it. He's won a lot of races, but it's a shame to see Kvyat after, also for him, a pretty good season with AlphaTauri, even achieving a podium last year in Germany. So yeah, that's what it is. Kvyat will likely leave AlphaTauri at the end of this season. Sister team Red Bull, Max Verstappen, as strong as ever, but still a big interrogation mark for Alex Albon. Will he stay at Red Bull? There are rumors of Perez, there are rumors of Albon, Christian Horner and Helmut Marko protecting Albon and wanting to give him the biggest possible chance. So we won't know until after the race if he's staying or not, but the consistency for Albon is just not there and did not seem to improve pretty much throughout the season. And he's been a year and a half now with Red Bull. Even if we don't expect him to beat Verstappen, we at least expect some improvement. But throughout the season, it pretty much stayed the same and even got slightly worse if you look at the tiny numbers compared to Verstappen. So is it Albon's last race with Red Bull? We'll find out in the off-season, hopefully before Christmas, because I don't think anyone wants to go on Christmas break and not knowing if they will drive or not. And speaking of who's going to be Max Verstappen's teammate, Sergio Perez and Racing Point. Next year, Stroll and Vettel at Aston Martin, but Sergio Perez will, in all likelihood, finish fourth in the Drivers' Championship. He won a race last week in Bahrain. He's got a podium 2 weeks ago, and in all likelihood he will not be on the grid next season, and that's a real shame. He's driving in the best form of his career so far. He's the one who supported Force India at the time, and that saved that team. So he's leaving a pretty big family, big emotions, and there are rumors that he did receive a text from Helmut Marko after his win for congratulations, which just feed the rumors that he could go to Red Bull, but he does not know. Nobody knows what's gonna happen after this race, and it would be a real shame to lose him. And Albon is a pretty good driver, no argument there, but in terms of pure good driver, consistent driver, logically it should be Sergio Perez, who should have stayed at Racing Point instead of Stroll, and who should take Albon's place in this case, sadly. We're going to talk about Alfa Romeo quickly, keeping the same driver for next season. They're going to be eager to finish this year and hope they have a better car next year. So Kimi Räikkönen, Giovinazzi safe in their spot. Haas. This weekend again, Pietro Fittipaldi replacing Romain Grosjean, who will not take part in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to focus on recovery after his big crash in Bahrain 2 weeks ago. He did express his wish to come back in an F1 car, at least to do a few laps, just to go out with dignity. And what's nice is that Toto Wolff, the team principal of Mercedes, did say that if no team wants to give Romain Grosjean a chance to run in an F1 a few laps, he will gladly give him that opportunity. That's a pretty nice gesture from Toto. So next year, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin, who got in a bit of a controversy this week, we'll talk about that shortly, will be driving for Haas. Schumacher taking Kevin Magnussen's place tomorrow on first practice, his first time in Formula One in that Haas. And Nikita Mazepin, I mentioned it, got a bit of a controversy, posted on social media a video of him jokingly trying to grab a woman's package, we'll call it like that, and got condemned very quickly by Haas and by Formula One. Haas Formula One team said they would deal with it internally, so there won't be any sanctions from Formula One. They approve what Haas has said, that the team should deal with it internally. But it just goes to show that whoever you are, you don't post that kind of thing on Facebook or Twitter or whatever social media you are on. And hopefully he will be careful soon, because it's the image of Haas and of Formula One who's at stake here. And we finish the day with Williams. George Russell, as I said, back in the car this weekend since Hamilton is coming back. And we'll be happy to be back with the team, surely, to be back in a comfortable car. We won't have to wear smaller shoes, and to be back in the environment that he knows. Russell will drive again for Williams next season in all likelihood, unless something big happens. Same for Nicholas Latifi. And, Williams will look to try and score at least 1 point this season, but not getting any point, that would be a real shame for the team, and also not a lot of money in the bank. But as we know, they were bought mid-season by a consortium American from the Williams team, and they will, Doralton Capital, that's the name I was looking for, and they will be looking at bigger budget for next season, and crucially for 2022, Williams will have some money to develop that car. This weekend it's going to be a goodbye for that season, so looking at the fight for McLaren and Racing Point for third. But other than that, I think every team will do their job, will be happy to end this crazy year. And we can discuss that a bit more over the weekend also, you and me. So don't forget to hit the like button to subscribe, and I will see you again after the practice session of the 2020 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix 17th round of the Formula One season. Thank you everyone, and have a good day.